My name is Jeff Cantor, and I do have prostate cancer. I contracted, I guess, or I found out I had prostate cancer at the age of 55. I'm now 71 and a half. I'm doing very, very well because of that. Life has not stopped me in any way because of my illness. I've had my ups and downs as far as battling the disease, but it has never been that much of a burden. No, there are no symptoms. At least for me, there were no symptoms. You don't feel anything. You don't hurt. Perhaps a urine flow might be a little slower, but that can be a lot of things. It's the PSA, the PSA test that the doctor would give you that might let you know that you do have a cancer in your body or an infection. The treatment options at that time were removal, and we didn't have the robotics in those days. We had seeds, we had chemicals, and radiation. I chose, with the help of my wife and another doctor, a urologist, to go with the seeds. But when you do the seeds, in my case, because there are, it depends how far your cancer has gone in your prostate, I went with seeds, I went with chemical, and I went with external radiation. No. In those days, my doctor didn't believe in testing for PSAs. That was a long time ago. I changed doctors, and he automatically ordered a PSA test. And when it came back, he was very, very nervous about the fact that it had been as high as it was, and we went from there. Well, in my case, or any man's life, it could save their life. It's a very important and very easy test. There's a lot of back and forth whether they should really know or not know whether they have prostate cancer. My belief, and it's not everybody's, is if you have a PSA that is elevated, work with your doctor, talk to your doctor, and see where to go with it. Well, it's up to them to talk to their doctor, okay? But my feeling is if you're a high-risk individual, such as African American or prostate cancer in your family, you should probably do a baseline at the age of 40 or something in that area. If you're not, a baseline at 50 would be a very smart move. And then you can monitor. It might be every year, every 2 years, but you can monitor the PSA to see if it's climbing at an accelerated rate. Because they love you. If it's not for a strong woman behind most men will not get things tested or checked. It's very important to have women on our side to go to the doctors with us and to listen, because we just hear everything blah, blah, blah. Women are analytical. And it affects the family as much as it affects you. So if you have a family, or you have a girlfriend, or you have children or grandchildren, prostate cancer is going to affect all of them. I know in my case, my kids call me every time I have chemo right now. They call me how I'm feeling 3 days later to see if I'm having ill effects. So it's a family affair. 1 in 6 means 1 in 6 men in New Hampshire, in the United States, and probably throughout the world will get prostate cancer. Approximately 1,200 men. It's a lot of men. Mine's not that great. I'm stage 4. I've gone through my periods of 15 years where it was gone. It was hidden someplace. But any cancer pops back up. Not always. In my case, it popped back up. And now it's in my lymph nodes, it's in my bones, it's in my spine. However, I wouldn't know it. I really would not know it. We are doing all sorts of things to contain it, but we can't cure it. So inevitably, I won't be around in 5 or 6 years, or 3 years perhaps. I don't want to go any lower than 3 years because I'm having a ball. And my quality of life is really, something that I think is great. I'm still playing golf, I'm hiking, I'm swimming, I'm still racing, ski racing, I'm boating. So nothing has changed because of my prostate cancer, except now that I go to chemo. It takes 3 hours every 3 weeks, and I have other things we have to do, but it hasn't affected me. I can say it nicely. You're fools. You really shouldn't worry about getting tested. It's better to know that you can take care of something and live a good, healthy life than not live at all. Out of the 1 in 6 that develops prostate cancer, 1 in 5 of those men will die. I'm one of those men. So I have a first-hand knowledge of it. When I was diagnosed, I said, lousy break. I had a ski race that night. I left my wife at home. I went to the ski race because it wasn't going to change the way it is because I didn't have pain. I didn't feel anything. And I did ask one favor because my wife was at home worrying. Can I race first instead of 50th or 60th so I could get home? Oh yeah, go ahead, they said. So I didn't give it much thought. Maybe a couple of days later when I was going through, through some of the thoughts, I did have, a why me moment, but not very often. Like any other family, oh my God, you've got cancer. But it hasn't been as bad as you would think. I've had, like I say, 15 years without it coming back, and I've had 2.5 to 3 years now that it has been back. Now they're reacting because they know it's back and it's a deadly disease at this point. We have a lot of things as a family to do, whether it's getting your financial stuff in order or get your home in order or what have you. There's things to do when you're facing the inevitable. But I still don't think I have cancer. I just think, well, it's there, but I don't know it yet. It's not, there's no pain, there's nothing that I can feel. Talking about myself personally and cancer, prostate cancer, I realized at the time that it wasn't a death sentence. It might be now because I'm that 1 in 5, but you don't have to be 1 in 5, okay? I never lost any of my sexual prowess. I never had much anyways, but I never lost that. I never had bowel problems. I never had the urinary problems that might go with some of the radiation that they do or the surgery. So you can lead a very normal life, which I honestly did. And I'm thankful for every bit of time I had and every bit of time I still have. So it's not that you're going to be the one who's going to die. You're going to be the one who's going to cure yourself or get cured and live on. So it's really important that you have a good attitude, that you don't let this thing get you down, and you grasp it by the horns and beat the hell out of it. You don't have to give up life. You can keep going.